right now? We already are? Now, what are you showing them? Plants. Why are you showing them plants?
Plants.
Why? Hannah,
Yeah?
you're showing them plants.
Uh-huh.
Do you know where we are?
No.
Hannah, this is Northwoods Prairie.
Oh.
So there's more about some of the animals that are here. So do me, oh, looky there. Zoo EDventures! Wow, that was loud.
You're so loud, Steve.
That was so loud. It echoed out on the habitat. That was a little crazy. Zoo EDventures friends, how are you today? Where are you coming from us? Where are you coming to us from? It's so good to see you. So good to meet you. We are live today in the back of a pickup truck. Steve is in front of the camera today. Well, those are Bison actually in front of the camera, but Steve will be eventually in front of the camera doing a lot of the talking. Hannah's behind the camera.
Hello.
Let's do that. Hannah's behind the camera today.
Hey!
There we go. That's the enthusiasm. And the other little giggle over here is Keeper Ashley. Hi, Keeper
Hello.
Ashley. How are you? You doing
Wonderful.
all right?
Always.
Keeper Ashley, you got a little hay. I think you've been munching on
Probably
some
do.
hay too, which is, hey, that's okay.
I'm probably
see?
covered.
Hey, that's okay.
I'm covered in it.
Awesome.
Fine.
So, Keeper Ashley, we are out here. Thank you so much for the invitation, letting us come out to visit with you all on Northwoods Prairie today.
Of course.
This is so much fun. And it was kind of cool to talk about bison and elk. Not buffalo, right?
Not buffalo.
And why not
Bison.
buffalo, real quick?
Buffalo live in like Asia and Africa.
Oh, okay.
Bison are a little different.
They look very different, too.
They do,
They
yeah.
look very different. And these are American bison.
Yes, plains bison.
Gotcha.
There are technically two species. There's
Oh.
also wood bison. but
And this
we have
is
plains
this
bison.
is plains bison. Oh, that's interesting. That's cool. Little friends, you know the difference between plains bison and woods bison? I do not. So we'll just keep moving forward with that. So that's kind of fun. Ashley, one of the things that we'd like to talk about today is you care for two very large and very different species out here on Habitat. You have the plains bison. See, I remembered. That doesn't happen very often. You have the plains bison and elk, and the elk aren't really coming over right now, but
Not
that's
at the
okay.
moment.
Maybe we can meet the elk a little bit later. Oh, Hannah's going to try to get the elk up there.
over there.
Way over there. So we'll try to get them in a minute. Maybe our driver, Keeper Lasher, Keeper Chris. That's a shout out, Chris. There you go. Thank you. So caring for them, same, identical, a little bit different?
Overall, it's pretty similar because
Okay.
they do live out here together. They are very different animals, but their general care is pretty similar.
Okay.
They're both ruminant animals, which means they have those multiple stomachs, so they can basically eat the same things.
Okay.
Just in different amounts. Bison are quite a bit bigger than the elk, so they do eat more.
Oh, okay.
But their overall care is very, very similar for them. They're
Nice.
native to the same areas. They would
Okay.
coexist in the wild together.
Oh, they would. You'd see
they-
them. You could see them in this kind of a dynamic. Oh,
Yep,
okay,
they would
cool.
coexist. In fact, in North Carolina, you would have historically you would have found them out here, but
Yeah, the 1600s maybe.
sure.
Nice.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely back then.
Yep.
They've been gone for a long time. There is a small population of elk that's been reestablished out
Right,
in,
right.
I think it's Cataloochee.
Yeah, in the mountains.
Out in the mountains. No bison,
No.
but there is a population of elk out there now.
Okay, nice. Very cool. So what is a day in the life of a bison like here at North Carolina Zoo? So this is, obviously, it's a little after 10 o'clock. Is this something, I know you guys change. Keepers are amazing here. They really are. They're
That's right.
very, very good. They're very awesome, and they work so well and so amazing with us. So is this normally when you would come out?
It depends
Ish?
a lot on the day, but yeah, most days, if we're gonna drive out, it would be around this time.
Okay, good.
Some days we bring them inside.
We stole a batch.
And some days we drive out here with them.
Okay.
We like to bring them inside into the barn just so that we keep up that behavior. Because if we ever really needed to bring them in, they know when those doors open, they hear us over there. They go, "Ooh, we're gonna get something good."
Nice. So make it a habit.
We've got some grain with us, which is their absolute favorite thing ever. There's a bowl of grain down here. So they'll each get a bowl of grain. We set them up in yards for them.
Okay.
So they go, "Oh my gosh, I know there's grain in there. I really want to come inside."
And this
So-
is a treat. This is good stuff.
Yeah, it's very tasty for them. Kind of supplements what they would get naturally from grass.
Okay.
They are both mixed grazers, a little bit browsers, but mostly grazing animals.
Grazing grass?
Grazing is grass off the
Okay.
ground, and then browsers are branches off the trees.
Ah,
So they will eat
like that.
some
That
browse, but
Okay.
they're really big grazers.
Gotcha, okay.
So,
and they get a lot of their food out here, I assume.
Yeah, so
you
we
don't need
have-
to have the mowers come in
There's
very
your nose, Lucy.
Who is that behind you?
This is Lucy, who I just booped with my shoe.
Hi, Lucy.
She's looking for snacks up here. They got 11 acres out here,
Wow.
so they do
Wow.
have access to a lot of fresh grass
Okay.
throughout most of the year. Obviously, we go through our 4 seasons here, so
Yep.
as it gets colder, our grass will die off. We'll feed out more hay, and then we'll feed out more grain because that supplements what they're missing from the fresh grass.
I like it. I like it.
You like it. You do. It's
Hannah, have
very
you been out and about before?
I have.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
Yes.
They're pretty good people out here, all things considered.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, well,
We're all right.
They are great.
We'll keep you. And who's this that just came up to visit?
This is Calf.
Hi, Calf.
Calf is kind of like second in command for the bison.
Oh.
So bison.
She looks really
have-
big.
She is pretty big. Females will top out around 1,000-ish pounds.
Half a ton.
She's not our largest though. Our largest though is actually Lucy, who's behind me. But Calf outranks Lucy.
Time to get away.
And No Horn, our old lady over here, she is highest in command.
So she's the boss. She's
so-
the matriarch.
Yeah, bison have a matriarch kind of society.
Okay.
Typically, your older ladies are going to be the ones kind of calling the shots for things.
Gotcha.
And helping protect the rest of the herd and saying where everybody goes.
So they're making similar in a way. We've talked about elephant herds before. So the females are making
Very
some
similar.
of those big movement patterns, big movement
Yeah,
decisions.
they're going to have, all of their kids with them, and as the males get older, males are quite a bit bigger, but not as integrated into their herds as the females would be.
I do not know the answer to this, and I don't like putting people on the spot. Do males are they off on their own like Elephant World, or they kind of form semi-groups when they're out and about? I don't know the
I
answer
honestly don't know.
don't
Chris,
either.
do you know?
Did you hear that question, Chris?
Yeah, so the males will stay with the herd, and when you get a large herd of bison, the males will kind of stay on the outside of the herd and protect the females and the calves that are kind of stay on the inside of the herd.
Okay, so
But
they're
it-
kind of traveling with, but loosely associated with.
Right, but it is the females that control where they go and when they're going to stop and eat and where they're going to spend the night and those type of things.
Very cool. All right, thanks, Chris. Sorry about that. Actually, it was a question. I was like, you know what?
No, it's a
I
good
don't
question.
know that.
We don't have any males right now, so it's really not something I think about very much.
Those males. What's up with the
Yeah.
males anyway? That's amazing. What'd you
Oh,
got?
we have a friend.
Oh, who's that?
Let's see if we can keep our friend over here. You come here? I know there's bison over here. So the bison are quite a bit bigger than the elk. So,
Yeah, they are.
As far as between the species, who kind of outranks who, overall the bison outrank the elk, but then when you throw Tommy, our bull elk, into the mix,
We hope to see
who's
him a
got
little later.
antlers, his antlers kind of put him above the bison, at least when he's got big antlers.
Yeah. Okay.
So he can push them around, even though he's technically, like, weight-wise, he's smaller.
Gotcha.
He's got a lot of reach with those things, and he'll give somebody a good poke with them
See
if
if
he
you can
really
get out.
wanted.
And you mentioned earlier they do kind of hang out together, huh? In a wild setting, because he's an animal a lot of our guests might be familiar with from Yellowstone. You would see both of these animals together out there.
Yeah, not necessarily like socializing with each other, but
Oh,
definitely
okay, good difference.
in
Good
the
dif-
same
good difference.
habitats.
Okay, cool. Nice difference.
Hi, Tink. Tinkerbell here is another old lady. She's 19. She's our oldest
Wow.
elk.
Old lady.
Um,
She looks a little more gray. Is that legit, or is that just her color? Is that an older thing? Her neck doesn't, and again, her
it's
neck doesn't look
probably
quite
some
as-
to do with
a
her
little bit
being
age.
older.
Okay.
Typically, so we have 3 old ladies, and like with most older animals, they don't look as pretty
No, yeah, I
as
think that's fair.
like our younger animals do. So you can see there's a young elk next to her, who's kind of a perfect picturesque little elk, probably only like 3 or 4 years old.
I see.
Whereas
Okay.
Tinkerbell here is a little old lady.
You
so.
said 19? Compare the two.
19.
Wow.
Yeah, she's an old lady.
Digital friends, have you guys
Hi,
ever
Tink.
been out and about seeing bison or elk in their native world? Oh, Hannah, you have.
Yes, I have.
Very nice. Very cool. I would love to get out there in the winter time. I think that'd be really neat to see.
That would be cool.
Have
them
you
in the
ever seen those
wintertime.
cool pictures of bison where, so like most North American animals, they'll grow a lot of extra fur for the winter to
Sure.
keep warm. So even right now they've got, a bit of poof on them, but they will be really poofy.
That's a scientific phrase.
Yes,
Poof.
yes.
Poof.
Scientific. An amount of poof for the winter. They will be very poofy, but that helps to insulate them. But
really?
also
Okay.
when
That
it
makes sense.
snows,
Yep.
if all of that snow falls on them, because it would be like being bundled up in like giant wool sweaters.
Oh, wow.
It insulates them from the moisture and from the cold, and you'll see pictures of them like covered in snow and ice.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
don't feel any of it.
And that's okay.
Yeah, totally fine for them. Come here, lady.
Covered in snow and ice. You guys have seen some of those pictures, maybe, our digital friends.
Yeah,
That's
super,
neat.
super cool pictures.
We're in the back of this truck, which is awesome, but what are these little toadstools?
These toys we have back here are called Amazing Grays.
Can I?
So-
Amazing Grays.
Amazing Grays.
I love it. Can I pick
for
one up?
grazers. Yeah,
and
of
show it
course.
to our digital friends? That way
Yeah.
Hannah doesn't have to work on that. Oh!
We're going to throw some green in there.
Oh, we are?
Hopefully the elk will, the bison will probably get to them before
How
the
cool
elk
is that?
do. But, yeah, so they
And we're
have
going to use this. Neat.
They have a fun shape to them, and they have a hole, so we can put food in it, and the food will come out. But because of the shape of them, so
You got
when
it?
you set them down, they'll kind of sit like this, so they'll be a little bit lopsided, and so when they push them, it doesn't just roll straight, it'll kind of roll in circles, and they really gotta push it around to get that food to come out of here. So those weird shapes kind of keep them working.
You've got a
at
fly
that
on
food.
your shirt. I don't want that fly getting you either.
It's gonna get me.
Nope.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead, we'll throw some green in here.
Awesome. So, digital friends, those of you who have been with us for a while, Ashley is preparing what for the animals? There is something that what she's doing has a word. You've heard it before. We talk about a lot with the animals to kind of activate their senses and have them creating and doing a natural behavior. What's the word that talks about what Ashley's getting ready to provide for the bison and the elk?
Lucy?
Do y'all remember?
We got a couple people that do.
Yeah? What did they say, Hannah?
Enrichment.
Nice! Good job, enrichment. So this enrichment, trying to encourage the animals to forage in this instance, to solve a problem and to find the food that might be in those amazing graze containers. I can't say it. So that's kind of a neat little thing. And they know how to use this. Let's see that arm, Ashley.
Well, I don't know, hidden animal. Over there. It's in there.
Neat. So even the bison and elk get enrichment.
Yeah, not as much as some of the other animals because they don't need it as
That's fair.
much. They've got really
Oh,
big
the
space.
habitat. Yeah.
That provides pretty much everything they need.
Neat.
Provides foraging opportunities, provides socialization. There's things for them to rub on out here. There's some shade out here, whereas like black bears got more enrichment because black bears would spend a lot more of their time really actively trying to get into things. So we provide more enrichment opportunities for them. But these guys do still get some out here.
So, smidge of an unfair question, maybe, does part of the lifestyle play into kind of what, when the keepers are thinking about what kind of enrichment, what am I going to do for the animals? So I'm looking at a brown bear, I'm looking at a black bear, a little bit more of an opportunistic feeder. There's some problem solving. There's a little bit of carnivore in there, trying to find the food. Where the bison is essentially, they're walking your grounds and they're eating the grass that's present.
Yeah, absolutely. So for all of the animals, especially when somebody's worked with their animals for
And
a
I got a
long
surprise.
time, they know what their animals enjoy interacting with.
Yep.
What's really good for them. The way we enrich elk and bison, like I said, is not going to be the same as the way that we enrich something like bears or the way
Right.
that chimp keepers are going to enrich chimps.
Oh,
Because you
good
have
point.
a whole lot of different behaviors and social dynamics within those groups of animals that you have to take into account.
Nice. Okay, very cool. How about a couple you've kind of shared a little bit of personal stories about the bison. Let's not do the elk right now. I think we maybe will get over and see the elk in a sec. Can you tell us a little bit about, give us a little personality on some of the bison and kind of how our digital guests may be able to tell a difference. You hinted at some of them. Can we do a little bit more of that?
Yeah, of course. So the bison are all very different. Most people don't think of hoofstock, which is hooved animals, as having a lot of personality. A lot of times when you show up, you're going to see them laying down, hanging out in the shade.
Doing a bison thing.
But that's what they do. They eat a whole bunch, and then they go, and they, like I said, they're ruminants, so they got those extra stomachs that
Yep.
their food kind of hangs out in and moves through.
Nice. Okay. It's not a half bad lifestyle, Hannah.
But when they are up and moving, they're all very different. So
Okay.
No Horn, our old lady here, who's getting her extra snacks this morning, she gets extra special grain because she's an old lady. Want to get her some
She
extra
deserves
calories.
it. She's earned it.
That's right.
Okay.
So she really likes that, but because she's kind of in command of the herd, she's generally not much bothers her. She's very
Okay.
relaxed. The other animals respect her a whole lot. So,
Oh, good. Wow.
like sometimes we'll see Calf kind of creeping on her bull because Calf is second in command.
Okay. And Calf is here to the right, correct? She's
Correct.
playing with
yeah,
the
she's playing with the
enrichment.
toy right now, trying to get that food out of it. Calf
neat.
is a pretty reserved animal in regards to how she behaves towards us.
Okay.
She is pushy with the other animals because she is kind of like second in command.
Yeah.
But she's not a particular, I don't want to use the word friendly, but she's not as approachable as, like,
Okay.
say, Lucy. Lucy is kind of our next in command.
And she's over here behind you,
Lucy
right?
is-
Mid-level animal.
Right here behind Miss Ashley.
Sweet Lucy. Lucy is, for lack of a better term, very friendly. Lucy does not have
Oh, she's
nice
missing
big
the
horns.
sheaths.
So you'll see
Okay.
her and No Horn both are missing those bigger parts of their horns.
Yeah.
The horns are made up of two pieces, so that that sheath on the outside is made of the same stuff as your fingernails. That can come off, but it won't come back if it does.
Right.
Hi, Lucy. You stick
What a
out that
great-
big old tongue.
Digital friends, how about that?
Sorry.
Give Lucy a thumbs up, digital
Yeah,
friends.
I
That's kind of
know.
fun.
I know.
That's kind of fun.
Hey, girl, look at you. Lucy is a favorite, I think, of most people. Lucy was once a pet, which is why she is so friendly.
And which is
towards
not
us.
normal in that instance.
Correct.
All right.
You wouldn't
Okay.
typically
I
see
gotcha.
somebody with a pet bison, and
No.
obviously it didn't work out because bison don't make good pets.
No, they're 1,000 pounds.
They're very big. Lucy is a very big bison, especially for a female. She probably is in that 1,000-pound range, if not a little more, because she's a little on the chunky side.
Great shots, Hannah. That's awesome.
Yeah, you're a little fat bison. Lucy spends a lot of time eating because she
Well,
likes
you know.
to eat. You do like to eat. But Lucy will come up. She'll rub on the truck. She will
Rub on you.
rub on me.
That was right on cue.
She, we can scratch on her nose a little bit. She does seem to
say
like
hello.
it.
Yeah.
At the very least, tolerate it for some grain.
Nice. Who just came up with us here?
Oh, this is Annie.
She looks smaller.
She is smaller. So what I call the two kid bison, they're a couple years old now. These two girls came in year and a half
Oh, they're
ago.
new to us too.
They are
Wow.
newer bison.
Okay.
They came to us from the wilds in Ohio.
Oh, from the wilds.
mm-hmm.
Nice. I bet some of our digital friends have been there.
Yep.
Digital friends, where are you from? Have you been to your local zoo? Have you been supporting your local zoo too, especially during this time? I hope so. I know some of you have, Bill. I know some of you go to your
Bill?
zoos regularly. Bill is one of our digital friends. He tunes in a lot.
okay.
I know
Well, hi,
Karen
Bill.
and Stephanie. Thank you very much for that. We have a lot of amazing friends. Vaughn is tuning in quite often.
Yeah,
So it's been fun.
Annie and Wiley. Wiley's the other kiddo that's over here, who's a little bit bigger than Annie.
So Annie's playing with the enrichment, and Wiley is here.
Wiley's looking for grain on the ground right now. She's
Okay.
looking for leftovers.
She's following the little...
So these two girls are newer. They're the lowest ranking because they are younger.
Okay.
Annie is the smallest. We jokingly call her a teacup bison. It's not a real thing. She's just small.
That's a zoo thing. That's a North Carolina
That's a
zoo.
just us thing.
I love it.
Don't go looking for teacup bison to keep in your bathroom. Like, they don't exist.
That's great.
I
love
she's
it.
just a little smaller than.
And you can see really well in that.
Wiley.
Can you kind of put those two together, Hannah, so they can kind of get an idea of the difference in size?
They are almost the
you.
exact same age. I think there's only like a 2-week difference in their age. But
Wow.
Wiley, if they were to stay next to each other, you would see Wiley's a little taller than she
Taller.
is.
Okay.
They are a couple of Spitfires. They're frisky and they're troublemakers. Sometimes they're a straight up pain.
Well, I guess,
when we
hey.
try to drive out here because they're so excited for the food that's on the truck, they'll just stand in front of our gate, and if we come around to another gate, Wiley is always the one at the front of
Gonna
the group.
find...
I gotta get there first, and so she runs over and she gets in the way. And if she's too close to the gates, we can't come through because
No,
they're
yeah.
big.
Well, I will say, though, if I knew there was food coming, if I knew there was pizza coming, you know what? I
Right.
might be in front line, too. So
Yeah, she's a lot of fun. If there's a group of elk, we can spread hay all over the habitat, and everybody will be hanging out, relaxing, and then Wiley will decide, I have to go chase those
It's time to
elk
play.
right now.
It's time to play right
Yeah.
now.
So she goes and she stirs up trouble, gets everybody up and moving. So she's a lot of fun.
Gotcha.
Annie usually will come up next once Wiley starts stirring everybody up.
Awesome. Well, what are the chances we can spin over real quick and see the elk?
Yeah.
Are there any way to kind of keep them? Can the bison stay here? Or the bulls? I have no idea how that works. Or are they going to
Stay.
follow us?
Stay.
Nice
No,
job, Ashley.
I
What do you
have
think?
no idea what
We have
they're
no idea what they're
gonna
going to do? Well,
I
let's-
can throw some grain and hay over here and try to encourage them to stay, but they do what they want.
They are bison. Well, let me talk to Keeper Chris here real quick. Keeper Chris, what do you think we can go find those elk?
Sure, let's go do that.
I love it. Thank you, Chris. Although you are gorgeous looking at a bison. Just really pretty. All right, let's see what happens. Hannah, hold on. Ashley's used to this. You and I are the newbies here.
Chris is a pretty smooth driver.
Chris is a pretty smooth driver, says
I can't
Keeper
say that
Ashley.
for everybody.
You do have a handful of people that work with you, don't
Some
you?
people are a little bouncy.
Is that why we left Keeper Curtis back with the wolves?
Right. Curtis is not fun to drive with.
Let's not tell him. Let's not tell Curtis that.
Curtis will bounce you all over the place.
We love Keeper Curtis too. We don't want to, get from there. All right, so we're going to try to find the elk. I don't see the elk. Hannah,
Well, you're
where's
looking the
elk?
wrong way.
I see the bison. Oh my goodness, right here.
Hi, Tinkerbell. Sweet girl.
Is that, what's the bull's name?
Tommy? I'm gonna
Wow,
grab this
can you
fly
show them
spray
Tommy,
from here
Hannah?
real quick?
Holy cow, what a great shot. So you put a fly spray on them sometimes, eh?
We do. The elk do not appreciate it.
No, they didn't
even
seem
though
to like
it's
that too
for
much.
Their own good. Oof.
That was one in your ear.
Yeah, so because they're out here, obviously there's flies out here, and when the flies learn that there's a bunch of tasty elk out here to chew on, they come and chew on our poor elk.
I just heard one in my ear. I don't like that.
Yeah, they're hateful creatures. So don't you do it. Don't you do it. Come here.
Who is this?
This is Tinkerbell, the older
Oh,
one I
Tinkerbell
was
back.
talking
Okay.
about before.
So this is the older female.
Tinkerbell, of course, because she's been here a long time, is very aware that we have snacks back here.
So she knows the system. She kind of knows the routine.
She knows the drill. She
Knows the
says,
routine.
I'll come up and they'll think I'm cute and they'll give me all the snacks. She's a little more tolerant of the fly.
We do
spray,
think you're
thankfully.
cute, Tinkerbell. Oh, looky here.
Oh, hi, handsome.
Wait a minute. Is he still in velvet?
He is still in velvet. So antlers are solid bone, unlike
Right.
those horns that we talked about before. So
What a great shot, Hannah. Nice job.
Come here. Don't go terrorize them. Get over here. Monster. So Tommy is top of the hierarchy right now, so he'll push whoever he wants off of things.
Wow. Okay.
But those antlers are in velvet, so the bone inside does need a blood supply to grow them. So from about March until now, they just grow continuously. And they get really big really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So once they're kind of done growing, his body will basically like send a signal and they'll start kind of getting itchy.
Yeah.
And he'll just start rubbing them on everything. And honestly, it's pretty brutal looking, but...
In what way? In what way is it brutal looking?
Well, so when you see it happen, because there is a blood supply in there, when he starts rubbing that off on stuff, they get all like straggly looking.
Oh, the
all
velvet
that-
comes tattery?
All that skin
Oh.
and fuzziness gets all bloody and it's like dangling. They'll chew on it sometimes
What?
because it is full of a lot of nutrients, even
Yeah.
though they are herbivores.
Yes.
They will eat some of it, which is gross, but it looks like a bloody, gory mess.
I see. Okay.
Even though, to our knowledge at least, it's not a painful process for them. It happens naturally. It's
Right, because it
supposed
sounds
to
like the
happen.
blood supply is kind of turned off at one point.
Right,
So
but
then it's
it
just
is,
like a tooth, literally like your nail at that point. Not the same material, but
Right.
there's no feeling there.
Hi, honey.
Nice.
You sweet.
I'm gonna look over Hannah's shoulder. Oh, he is so pretty. He's just
He is.
majestic.
Oh, yeah, he's making noises at them, telling them to get off of stuff.
Yeah,
That's
he
what
was.
he just did to them now.
Yeah.
As we get closer and closer, he should, in the next probably week or so, actually in the next probably couple of days, he's getting towards the end of when he should be getting out of velvet. He should start scratching that off. Where was I going with this? I don't remember. Anyway.
Sounds, maybe? You're talking about
Oh,
sounds?
sounds, yes.
Ooh.
He'll be going into rut. Hi, Lucy. Lucy's back with us.
That's all
He'll
right. We
be
still
going
like
into
you, Lucy.
rut, which means he's going to become very protective of his herd. It would be breeding season for the elk.
Okay.
So he'll be doing this call called a bugle,
It is awesome.
you can hear through a large part of the park. You can be all the way down by Polar Bear, and you can hear him shrieking. Those straws that typically you get in like cups at the zoo and at like amusement parks.
Oh, good analogy.
If you blow on those, it sounds very similar to an elk bugle.
That's a great analogy. And that's true, actually. That's a great analogy. I hadn't thought about that.
Yep, sounds just like it, but a lot
Look
louder.
at this, Hannah. Come down.
I know. What's in there? There's
What's in there that's
food
so
out
good for you?
Alfalfa dust.
That is so good. Alfalfa dust.
My goodness.
I bet you can give them some real alfalfa.
Here you go. Eat some real food. You want that?
Say, but of course. So how many of what do we have, Ashley? Is that a fair question?
Yes. There are 5, I covered in it. 5 bison, 5 lady bison, and 15 elk, 9 of which are males, even though Tommy's the only one with antlers.
Oh.
So everybody else is essentially, the boys are all like basically neutered.
Gotcha.
So hormones are what control everything to do with antlers, the growth, the shedding, all of that stuff. Ooh, Get off me, creature. So all of the other boys are neutered so that we don't have a bunch of fighting, because in the wild, those antlers would also be used for not only impressing ladies, but for fighting with other boys to kind of protect what we would call a harem, which is a big group of girls.
Okay. Is there a possibility he will breed this year?
No. So Tommy has what's called a vasectomy, so he still goes through all of the hormonal changes, but will not be making any babies.
Okay.
A bunch of these animals out here are related to him. So those younger kids are all his. So we don't want to breed anybody. We have plenty of elk at this point with 15.
They're stunning. They're gorgeous.
They're very pretty, but there are plenty of them.
Love it. No, that's awesome.
You guys are cute.
All right.
Are you coming
What
over,
a great day this has been. I love coming out here. Keeper Ashley, thank you so very much for letting us come out and visit with you today.
Of course.
Share the bison and the elk herd. Digital friends, hope you enjoyed meeting many of the bison and elk that were out and about. It was nice to get a nice shot of Tommy there later. Keeper Chris, thank you so much for bringing us out here today.
Not a problem.
We appreciate that very, very much. Digital friends, thank you for tuning in. The North Carolina Zoo EDventures, 10 o'clock on Wednesdays. It's been awesome. I've been since the zoo's been open, I've been out and about a little bit more, meeting some of you. So if you ever see us out and about, please don't hesitate to say hi. And we always love meeting you all if we can. One thing about the zoo right now, please be aware. Wow. That was a very loud call. Yes. That indoors, we are asking you to wear masks now. We need to get control of this COVID. So we're asking you to please wear masks indoors if you can when you visit the North Carolina Zoo. So thanks you all very, very much. As Hannah is going to stay on the bison, we were so happy to have you with us today. Tune in again on Wednesdays, Zoo EDventures, 10 o'clock. From Steve in front of the camera, Hannah, and many, many, many other animals around. Hannah, say goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Ashley, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Stay safe. Hope to see you again next week.